Metal Temple, calling you from Israel. Again, my apologies for running late. How are you?
No worries, man. I'm good, man. I'm good. Taking it easy. Have a couple of days off, so yeah, I'm just chilling.
Good. So tell me a bit, how was the touring season? I know you guys did a few festivals this summer.
Well, we did one festival. We did a festival in Romania. We played with at the Metalhead Meeting Festival in Romania. It was all right. It was pretty good. It was nice to play there. It's somewhere we haven't been before, so it's always good to go to new places. Other than that, we're kind of more focused on working on new material and that kind of thing.
Good. Do you have any, can you evaluate when the new release is, when will you be finished writing material for a new album?
Well, the material is pretty much finished. Now we have to just do the post-production. We just have to work on the, have the person who's going to do the mastering have that done. We need to finish up a few little touches here and there, but it's mostly finished.
I see. And how many tracks is the new album supposed to have?
Well, that's the thing. It's not an album. It's an EP. So it's a small EP about a specific storyline, and it's 6 tracks which are all connected to each other with narrations in between. So that's the theme we're going for this time with this particular release. With
a storyline, you mean like a concept release?
Yeah, as a concept. Yeah.
That's nice. Can you tell me anything about it? Can you show?
What?
Can you give me some detail?
I can't say that much. It's going to be a surprise, but it revolves around themes of rejection and abandonment, and then thinking that you discover your place in the world, but then maybe not. It's quite dark. It's quite a dark theme. I can say it has a fantasy theme to it.
Oh, that's nice.
Clear fantasy theme to it, which kind of fits in with some of our previous releases. So yeah, that's what I can say so far. But we'll start releasing teasers quite soon, actually, about that.
Good. Okay. And I've understood you guys are going on tour with Israeli Desert heavy metal band this October, visiting several destinations like Greece, Bulgaria. So what else can you tell me about this upcoming tour? Are these places you're about to perform in for the first time? How was it born?
Well, I mean, okay, we played in Greece before, a few years ago, 5-6 years ago. We played in Greece, played a few shows there. It was good to kind of connect with the audience in Greece because many times, mostly because of the kind of language and cultural links, a lot of Greek and Cypriot bands go back and forth between the two countries. It's been a long time since we played there, so it's going to be good to go back again and kind of show them what we're about. We played in Bulgaria before as well when we were on tour with Stradivarius. We played in Sofia, which was a great show. So it'll be good to go there again. We have, as I understand it, we have quite a few Bulgarian fans. It'll be good to see them. And the tour finishes up in Romania. We'll have a couple of shows there, and we played there before on the festival. So again, it'll be good to kind of revisit these territories that we've played in before and kind of start solidifying our base there. Well, the idea for the tour was we wanted to go. Basically, we wanted to kind of do a small tour in Europe this autumn, this fall, and because we know the guys from Desert, we played with them a couple of times. We get along with them very, very well. They're friends of ours, so we figured it would be a good idea to kind of cooperate on something and see where it takes us.
I see. And what's it like? Describe to me the feeling of opening up for a band as big as Stradivarius.
Well, it was amazing. I mean, considering that for all of us in the band, Stradivarius was such a big influence musically, it was a dream come true, really. Really great. I mean, it was incredible to have such a to be part of such a well-organized tour, such a well-organized operation. Everyone was really, really professional. Really good with their jobs. The guys themselves, Stradivarius, are nicest guys you could meet.
Really?
Again, really, really good guys. Again, very, very professional, and they were very supportive. Actually, they helped us out a lot with, using their gear, having their lighting guy help us out and everything. They're true gentlemen, and can't say enough good things about them. So it was an incredible experience, and it really opened all doors for us to kind of expose ourselves to their kind of fan base, and because we play a similar kind of music to them, kind of similar, it was it made sense. It was a very good opportunity, and I'm really glad we took it. And we have to see when the next big chance like that comes along.
I see. Okay, so Winter's Verge's latest album, titled 4, came out September last year.
Yeah.
So how was the reception? Are you satisfied with the album now that it's been a year since it's released? Is there anything you'd change if you could?
Okay. I mean, after you hear an album 500 times, you're always gonna, especially if it's one that you made, you'll always find little things here and there to touch up, and little things to fix. Maybe the guitar sound you had back then, you're thinking now, I could have done it a bit differently, but that always happens with everything. You can't. If you don't stop at some point, you'll never stop trying to fix things and correct things. But generally, no. I mean, listening to it again, I'm still quite happy, and we all are quite happy with what we did, what we produced. The reviews were generally very, very good, very positive. They seem to people who are following us seem to appreciate the fact that we are developing and kind of maturing, exploring different areas. I mean, we have kind of heavier, sort of more like beat tracks, like Nightmare on tracks, or we have more epic songs, Reborn at Dawn and Call from the Deep, which are the really, really epic symphonic ones. So it was good to kind of explore different areas and see where we can take things and be a bit experimental with different techniques. Also, that album was the first album for 2 new members, for Andy Kopiva on guitar and Danny or Guillaume drums. So it was an opportunity for them to kind of put their personality. They contributed a lot of touches and a lot of kind of a general vibe. They kind of helped make. And also because it was the first album we've done with 2 guitars as opposed to just guitar and keyboards, we kind of focused more on the guitar aspect and seeing the guitar part working together. And it was a very interesting album to work on, and we're very happy with it still. It seems most of the reviewers who got it were quite happy with it too. So quite positive, and it was good to develop from there to move on to the next release for this EP release. Now, I'm not 100% sure when it's going to actually be done, but I think we're aiming for a release before the end of this year, or if not the end of this year, the beginning of next year.
I see. And tell me, how are the dynamics within the band now that the lineup has changed and reshaped since your last album, since 4?
Well, everyone kind of has a little job that they do with the band. For example, George handles all the recording and mixing. Songwriting was fairly evenly split between George, Harry, all of us really. It's quite evenly split. George writes all the lyrics though, because he's the singer, and many times it's more helpful for the singers to write the lyrics, because the singer is the one who's going to kind of enunciate the words, kind of articulate them, fit them into the melody, how it works with the breathing and all these things. And because none of the rest of us are really, accomplished singers, we leave that on him. Okay, well, we'll make our suggestions and make things, but he's in charge of all the lyrical aspect, really. Concept-wise, in terms of like what concepts we come up with, we work on those as a group together, and we will sit there and kind of hammer something out, and then develop it over time. How we actually write music for 4, and actually much more for this new EP. We go to a rehearsal room, sit down. Somebody says, "Right, I have this idea." Start playing a riff. So here are the 2-3 riffs. This is a very rough structure. Let's go, and then we just kind of work through it. And at the end, we end up with a song which is kind of similar to their original idea, but it's a song that came through jamming it all together. We work, see what feels right, see what fits right together. And I think it's quite time consuming. It can take quite a long time to get songs done, but the result is we feel that we get a song that's very connected, it's very well structured, and it's a song that really has our personality on it, because it was a song that came organically through us playing together. And as a result, I think we have songs which sound better live, which work better, And it's a very rewarding way to work because you leave from practice. We wrote another song. That's great. So, yeah, that's generally how music happens. And dynamically, it's things are good. Everyone gets along very well. We're all friends. So yeah, it's. But the thing is, one thing we realize is there's not one person who is bigger than the band. For example, last time we came to Israel, Harry, he was involved with Eurovision with his other band Minus One. He couldn't it, so we got in one of our friends to fill in. And the next time we played in Romania. Actually, George, the singer, he had a quite serious problem, and last minute he had to pull out. And George is the guy who founded the band, so you would think if there's one person missing who could make the show not happen, it would be George. But we got a friend of ours to fill in. We learned the songs in 2 days, and we went to Romania and we played the festival.
Wow. I've actually been to that show, and I thought when you guys opened for Elvenking, it was like a little folk heavy fest. And I thought it was a great show. I mean, it really felt organic and natural.
Yeah, with Elvenking, that was actually our full lineup. That was with Andy and Harry. One. It was the next show that we played with the Mystic Prophecy, actually.
Okay.
So it kind of just shows the band is bigger than any one person, and everyone accepts that. Everyone is fully on board with that. Nobody has any of these big ego trips or any of that. We're all working to one goal and we have one thing. So it's Winter's Verge is a strong entity on its own. It doesn't depend on the characters. It is its own thing. And I think that was a very important thing, a very important point that we proved, actually, about when we went to Romania. Because it wasn't the ideal situation. The weather was pretty bad. It was raining. But, we went there and we did it. And it shows that we have the courage to do anything. So, I mean, that was very important. I think that's we made quite a statement there. So, yeah, that's as far as dynamics are concerned, everyone realizes what they're a part of. And realizes that they're part of a whole that's much bigger than themselves.
Are you all also friends? Do you have also social relationships?
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, Harry and Danny and I and George, we all hang out and chill together and stuff. I mean, okay, we obviously have our own jobs and stuff.
Yeah.
George is married with kids. Andy's married with a kid on the way.
Congratulations.
Whereas Danny and Harry are a bit more kind of chilled and loose because they work as musicians, so they're kind of. I'm kind of in the middle. I have a serious day job, but at the same time, I don't have any kids or anything. So.
I see. Very free to make metal.
Yeah, I just have lots of cats.
Okay, that's nice. That's good to hear. So tell me, Miguel, what's it like to be a metal band in Cyprus? Does metal have a big following in Cyprus? Is there a big scene over there? Since when is it? The situation?
Okay, Cyprus is a very small country. I mean, it's a population of less than 1 million, so as a result, any metal scene would be quite small as well. I mean, we're not a huge scene. There's maybe about 1,000 people in the whole of Cyprus, which really, take time and really, get involved with it. If you're a metal band in Cyprus, we have quite a few very good bands here. I could start mentioning going on and on. I mean, like for example, the obvious ones are the other ones are Blind, Rust, Aryan Path, so many I could. But those are just the first ones that came to my mind. It's a very active scene. There's new bands coming up all the time. New people trying new things of very different varieties as well. I mean, we have death metal bands. Vomital are an excellent death metal band in Cyprus. You've got thrash bands. So many new bands. Lots of punk as well, kind of punk thrash metal bands. I play in another thrash band actually called Infected Siren.
Really? Okay.
Thing. And it's a very active scene. There's lots of experimentation going on. Lots of very talented people working. And up to a certain point, everyone kind of works together and kind of pulls together. There aren't that many people here into it, but you can get things done. Now for one of the problems, of course, as a small country, you can only play in front of the same people so many times. You need to. That's why everyone needs to start kind of branching out and reaching out. So that's why I think we were the first. I think we were the first metal band from Cyprus to go on a kind of like a big international tour.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Okay.
I think we were, and then a couple of years later, Blind went on tour with Cradle of Filth.
Uh-huh.
And after that, Nonmetal went on tour with Master. A couple Cypriot bands have started kind of reaching out and started playing at some festivals in other countries, like in Greece or.
Like it started happening outside the local scene.
It's reached the point that the serious bands have realized we're just going. You can't just keep going in circles in a very small country. You have to start branching out. And because of the whole kind of geographical problem that we have, us being on an island, it makes it a bit more difficult. Than it's not like you're in the mainland Europe where you can just get in your van and drive and get to another country. You have to get flights, go to Greece or go to whatever other country and start from there. You know, that's how it is, and the serious bands are making it happen. You know, it's a scene that it's not. It doesn't make things easy for you. You have to push it. You have to really push it and make the effort. You have to make the extra effort. And at the end of the day, we all do it because we love it. That's number one reason. If you don't love it, then don't do it.
Well, it's pretty much the same. It's like similar responses that I get when I talk to Israeli musicians. Like also a very small scene. Like, and in the end, if you want to make it or at least try, then you just have to branch out and try to. Yeah.
I mean, speaking to the Israeli, all the Israeli fans and the Israeli musicians that we met and stuff, we see a very similar mindset and a very similar approach. So you know, it's I mean, they would get it. They do get it, actually. I
agree. So I know Harry, Winter's Verge guitarist, played the Eurovision along with other musicians from Cyprus's metal scene. So how was the song reception? Did the locals like it?
Well, yeah, the song reception was great. I mean, for example, Minus One, that's what the band are called. Chris, the drummer, Chris Ioannis is the drummer. He used to play with us actually as well. He used to be a member of Winter's Verge, and is still a very, very good friend of ours. Also, like Andonis Loizidis, bass player, Konstantinos Amerikanos, the other guitar player, and François Michaeletto, the singer. They're all friends of ours. Because we're a small scene, not just like the metal scene, but the kind of rock metal scene, which overlaps. It's a small scene, everyone knows each other, and we all get along very, very well. Especially in particular, these guys are very professional, very friendly, very, very good people. So everyone was supporting, everyone was like 100% behind them. It was great to see them on TV in such a huge stage and front of so many people. It was quite an experience. It was an amazing thing to see.
Yeah, I guess it would probably make you proud like twice, also for being someone from Cyprus and also seeing metal over there representing Cyprus. So I think it's a big deal. I think
it was definitely interesting, and it was a great move for promotion for Cyprus, for Minus One, for everyone really. It was a very proud moment. Yeah. For sure.
Yeah. Okay, so tell me, Miguel, what drove you in the first place to pick up the bass and start writing music? And
what inspired me to pick up the bass?
Yeah.
Steve Harris on Steve Harris on Seventh Son of a Seventh Son. That was
definitely.
I mean, I first started listening to Iron Maiden when a friend of my sister's gave me a tape of Fear of the Dark. I started listening to it. I was like, yeah, this is really good. Okay. Then I borrowed a cassette tape, just to give you an idea of how long ago this was.
I
borrowed a cassette tape of Seventh Son of a Seventh Son. I heard from Moonchild onwards, I heard like, oh, this is amazing. I have to start doing this. So I kind of scraped money together and got my first bass and started from there. I started learning all the Iron Maiden and Black Sabbath songs I could learn. And once I started, as time went on, I was improving and getting better with that, and then I started listening to other kinds of music. I started listening to a lot of power metal, like Rhapsody, these kind of bands, and started developing my technique. I started getting more serious with it when I realized, oh wow, this is something I'm actually not terrible at. So I kind of got more serious with it, started focusing more and more on it. And eventually I started realizing, well, why not try to do this professionally? So I went to university in the UK. I did a degree in music.
Wow. Okay.
And,
that's interesting. That must be interesting, right?
Oh yeah, it was great. It was fantastic. I loved it. I mean, I learned so many things on my music degree. I can't even start. I mean, I was always very interested in classical music, but that came about from me listening to all the metal, because I started listening to bands like Angra and Stradivarius and Sabotage as well. Sabotage have a lot of classical influences too.
Yeah, I love them. I think they're great.
And Rhapsody as well, and all. I started listening to all these bands. I was thinking, right, this classical music thing is worth looking into. So I started kind of listening to more classical music and found I really loved that too. So at university I also learned how to play double bass, the contrabasso.
Wow.
Which was, again, completely opened my eyes to it and whole new world.
Do you still play it?
Yeah, I do. Not as much as I should or can, but I have it at home and I work on it sometimes. And I'm always telling myself I need to start practicing it again really well, because maybe I can start introducing aspects of that into Winter's Verge music, which I think would be really cool.
Yeah, I think that'd be awesome.
So yeah, I mean, I learned so many things on my degree, like arrangement, musicology, orchestration, conducting and arranging, and all those things. And I really found that, again, it was opening my mind to all these different possibilities. And now I can, for example, when we're working on the symphonic aspects of the songs, I know what to do to make it really sound genuine and really enthralling. I know all these little details, all these little things. It's, those all things I learned on my music degree. As well as all the more technical, like theory, harmony, counterpoint, all that stuff. I learned a lot of techniques and a lot of interesting kind of ideas and concepts. So that was really good. That was a really good experience.
Okay, and what are you listening to these days?
These days I'm kind of I'm mostly listening to a lot of power metal, actually. I kind of go between black metal and power metal.
Really?
I always have. Yeah, one of my favorite bands ever were Emperor, which was another influence of mine to get into classical music, because they're obviously very symphonic. Well,
they've just announced tour dates for the next year. That's exciting. Yeah.
I guess they need money again. But I guess they need money again.
Obviously.
But they're fantastic bands. They're one of my big influences. Like with them and Limbonic Art and even some Rotting Christ songs where they have some kind of more symphonic elements. It was really a big thing. So yeah, I do listen to a fair bit of black metal still. I've recently been listening a bit of Immortal, but also kind of power metal. I've been listening to a lot of Power Wolf. It's a great fun band. Okay. And like a lot of Symphony X too. The last few months I've found myself listening to Symphony X a lot. They're amazing band. They're just they really blow everyone away in terms of just not just technicality. They're not just a technical band. They're just so complete in everything they do, in technique and songwriting, structuring, groove and feel, everything. They're fantastic musicians and they're great to listen to. Really, really fun.
They've actually just been here like last week, and I missed it, and I knew it was gonna be like one of those concerts I'm gonna regret for like at least a year, and I'm already regretting. So yeah.
Yeah, I was because they're not playing in Cyprus or anything. I was actually tempted to kind of like jump over to Israel to catch them, but scheduling wise with work, it didn't work out.
Well, we have here Sodom playing in October, I think. You're more than welcome.
Yeah, we'll see what we can do.
Okay, so tell me, what did you think of Iron Maiden's Book of Souls? Did you like it?
I love it. I think it was a fantastic achievement. It's they really the Iron Maiden have reached the point they can literally do anything they like. They don't have any limits. They don't have anyone telling them, "Oh, you can't do this or you should do this." They can do whatever the hell they want. They want to write an 18-minute long song with piano in it. They can do it. Nobody can say anything. They want to release a double album. They can do it. They can write a song and keep writing it until it feels it's done. They don't have to force it. Oh no, this song is too long. We have to cut it back a minute. Fuck it. Let's make it 13 minutes long. Okay, cool. Then do it. It's as a whole, it's such a great accomplishment because they've really kind of shown. Because one thing I did recently, actually, I listened to I got Iron Maiden, the first album. Yeah, I listened to that all the way through. And then I listened to Book of Souls all the way through, And it was quite an amazing experience just to hear such a massive change between the first release and the last release. But then you also hear a lot of the similarities. You hear the melodies they kind of have, the touches. I loved it. It was a fantastic achievement. They really kind of show how much they've developed and matured since then, even though it's only two of the same people. It's been Dave Murray and Steve Harrison's back then.
Yeah.
Kind of still kept that character, still kept that feel, and they've really kind of shown, you know what, we have all these things we've done, but we still have all this to offer. We're not kind of just going around it. We're not going through the motions, just putting out the same album over and over, like a lot of other bands do.
Yeah.
Bands that have been around for a long time. Like, no, we want to do something new and something unique and different each time, and they do that every time they achieve it.
And tell me, Miguel, with which non-metal artists would you like to work with, assuming you had the possibility?
Non-metal artists? You mean like in what sphere? In popular music, classical music?
Whatever you like. Just anything that's not metal. It can be someone dead. It can be Britney Spears.
Oh yeah! Wow! You really.
Well, you know what? No, then let's narrow it down. Like, give me live people.
Live
artists.
All right. Okay. Well, let's see. I'd be very curious to work with someone like Hans Zimmer, or one of these big, really famous.
I thought you were gonna say Clint Mansell. I swear to God, I don't know why, but I think Hans Zimmer is also fabulous.
Yeah. Well, yeah, Hans Zimmer, or one of these big, or Ennio Morricone. That would be amazing.
Really?
Just one of these big conductors, big composers for film and movies, because they just have they just have so many ideas, and they have to try to link it with a visual aspect, which is one of the amazing things to do. Performance-wise, I would really love to work with. This is going to sound a bit weird, but with Boris Berezovsky, the classical pianist, not the dead Russian.
Okay, yeah.
The classical pianist, kind of work with him and sort of get a kind of see what kind of crazy ideas we come up together with him, because he's this unbelievable piano player, classical piano player. Kind of combine that with a really powerful metal aspect. Just kind of see what will come out of that. That would be very, very interesting. Other people I'd like to work with. I mean, I really like some of the. I mean, there's some amazing pop singers out there. People who are working in the pop aspect. I mean, I don't know. So someone with Adele's voice or something. Just wondering what that would sound like with metal. That would be really interesting, I think, because she has such an expressive voice.
She does. She's quite it's impressive.
Yeah, definitely. Or one of these, one of these really kind of dramatic singers. I mean, there's so many possibilities. That's the great thing about music. You can make anything happen.
Exactly,
and
definitely.
For example, I was at a performance of a friend of mine the other day, and they had this old lyre player. The lyre is a kind of a stringed instrument that's bowed. It's a traditional Byzantine instrument. You find it quite commonly in the Middle East.
Wow. Okay.
It's Turkey. And there was a player. She was playing this beautiful instrument, making these amazing sounds. The first thing I thought was wow, how can we incorporate this into our music? How can we use this? And that's why nowadays you get so many different types of metal. For example, you have folk metal, where playing on the fiddle and stuff, or when Elvenking, for example, Elvenking were in Israel, saw what they did using the electric violin and getting this whole feel and vibe. And that's one of the things I love about metal is no rules. You can do whatever the hell you like. You can stick any kind of crazy thing there, and it'll work.
Okay, tell me, what do you think of Kanye West?
Listen. I mean, I don't like making fun of people with learning disabilities.
Yeah. Okay.
I think he must have some sort of, I don't know, he's on the autistic disorder spectrum, or has some kind of Asperger's syndrome.
Somewhere on the spectrum, you'd say.
Definitely. I mean, definitely. There's no other rational explanation for someone behaving in that manner. And it's I don't know. It's impressive how somebody can get paid for acting in such a bizarre fashion.
Okay.
I mean, some people might say he's stupid or something, but I think the real stupid people are the people who pay to buy things that he produces or things he puts his name on. I'm like, or that's who the stupid people are, in my opinion. But yeah, I think he probably needs some sort of treatment, really.
Okay, and tell me, what do you think of death metal?
It's fantastic. Love death metal. Another one of my big influences was always Nile, because they managed this really kind of dark, brooding, evil sound and evil vibe into their music.
Strong on the atmosphere, very Middle Eastern, very
incredible. And then they kind of combined that with the extreme like brutality and technicality of what they're playing.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many fantastic, unbelievably talented musicians working in death metal. One thing that really blew me away was when I saw Cannibal Corpse for the first time. And I got to see Alex Webster up close, because as a bass player, that was just, that was a real education.
I see.
See someone that good playing up close, and then you see like all the other incredible bands we've had over the days, like Death, for example. It's just,
I agree. Yeah.
It's like unbelievable, man. There's so many of them, so many like unbelievably talented, skilled bands you can learn so much from. Like one of in terms of like dynamics and composition, all these things. One band that really opened my eyes was Origin.
Really, I like them.
Oh my god, man, that's crazy, man. Like the album is like half an hour long, but you feel exhausted at the end of it.
Yeah,
because there's so much they managed to force so much material, so many ideas, so much.
So complex, and it seems so dense. Like
dense. It's so dense, and like it's not something that I would ever probably play myself, or I would ever write or compose myself. But like listening to it, you can really appreciate it and kind of really get so much out of it. And I learned a lot. Again, every time I listen to music, I feel like I'm learning something. I feel like, these are interesting ideas. It's difficult for me just to listen to music purely for enjoyment or relaxation, unless I've already heard it like 100 times, which is very often why I'm driving around. I'll put in an album I've heard 100 times before, because that's what relaxes me. Because whatever happens is whenever there's a new Symphony X album or Stradivarius album or everything, I put it in and I just listen and see what I get from it, see what I can learn from it, see what I can just kind of like how if you're having a nice whiskey or like a nice glass of wine, you really, or the way what I do is like the first one, you take it, you kind of examine it, really try to get as much out of it, really, appreciate it and savor it as much as possible. And then the rest of it, you just drink it down and get wasted. But that's how I listen to music that I haven't listened to before. And I think a lot of that was actually as a result of me kind of being trained to do this when I was studying classical music at university, because we did a lot of analysis and all these types of things. And there's possibilities everywhere. And death metal is a very rich area of possibilities. And unfortunately, a lot of people won't give a chance to, because it is an acquired taste. Definitely is.
It is. Thank you so much, Miguel. On this note, we'll end. And since we have some things to think about with this inspiring answer. So thank you. I wish you all the best. I hope to see you again in Israel very soon.
We really hope to go there again very soon too. We have a great time every time we come over, and
good.
Yeah, good. The people there are wonderful, and we feel very at home.
Good. Your fans expect you here, and we'd love to see you again. So thank you and good luck.
Okay, dude. See you, man.
Have a great summer. Bye bye.
You too.
Take care. time to time.